Hi, as promised, today I'm going to share with you how to convert an original AWD drift car into a CS counter steering drift machine. To start with RC drift, the easiest way is to buy a Kyosho AWD RTR car. It will give you the best handling, plus a very good and beautiful car shell for display. The only negative point is that the Kyosho is comparatively expensive compared to the other brands. Fortunately, there are still many cheaper options. For example, the LDRC LD28 series. The LDRC gives you a drivable car. Though, if you want a much more precise control, you have to slightly modify it. And since such comparatively cheaper cars don't come with any suspension, it will hardly give you a very good drivability. Here, I will suggest the Wltoys K96 for achieving an affordable and drivable experience. I have said before that we can drift any AWD car, and just after certain practice and adaptability, anyone can drift an AWD car beautifully without big problems. But after you have gotten used to drifting an AWD car, then you will find that the drifting manner of an AWD is not so realistic, since it's not a counter steering drift. You may upgrade your hobby experience to an RWD car, but the process is not so easy, and an RWD car costs a lot more. One of the alternatives to having a CS drift car is trying to convert your original AWD into a CS drift machine. But not all AWD cars can be modified into a CS machine. There is a must. The original AWD car must be equipped with a removable differential gear, as well as a removable pillion gear shaft. In such cases, both the Kyosho and the Wltoys are suitable for this CS conversion. And the conversion procedures are nearly the same for both brands. Firstly, you have to disassemble the gearbox. Change the original differential gear to an adjustable differential gear, of which the distance to both ends can be adjusted. This gear can be bought from AliExpress and is not expensive. You should also prepare a pair of longer dog bones, since the original one may not fit with this new differential gear. Secondly, you have to change the rear end pillion gear. The original one is always an 8-tooth gear for both the Kyosho and the Wltoys. To achieve CS drift, you have to change this 8-tooth gear to a 15-tooth gear. The Wltoys provide a set of spur gears, which is very suitable for this conversion. So you have to buy this set. Take out the 15-tooth gear to modify. You have to drill a bigger center hole to add this gear onto the original 8-tooth pillion gear. In my case, I just slowly enlarge the hole of the 15-tooth gear with a manual cutter. No need to make it too fast, and just be patient. Sure, you can apply any other more accurate methods to enlarge the hole. And after successfully enlarging the hole, you may attach the 15-tooth gear onto the 8-tooth gear. Since the driving mechanism of both the Kyosho and the Wltoys is the same, this modified gear can be applied to either machine. Now you may reassemble the driving shaft with the new pillion gear to the gearbox. Then the conversion process is finished. And now you will have a new CS AWD machine. With a CS machine, a gyro is needed for drifting. There's no need to have an expensive gyro, and you can just apply any cheaper gyro designed for AWD. However, the controllability of this new CS car has changed. It's no longer as easy as before, but it's also a lot more difficult than any RWD car. And in my opinion, you have to apply certain counter steering technique to control drifting in order to keep the drift just as in reality, or otherwise the car will overdrift and spin out. Another tip for this CS mode is the power of the car must be big, and no fear of aggressiveness. The bigger the power, the easier to keep a CS drift. or otherwise the car will spin out very easily. The last point is that for a better CS drift behavior of the front end, it's better to enlarge the front end steering angle a bit. In this respect, I will say that the Wltoys is doing a bit better than the Kyosho, since we can easily modify the steering angle of the Wltoys while the Kyosho is not. And so the result of a CS Wltoys is much closer to an RWD machine. With a short conclusion, I will say that the CS drift behavior is a bit closer to the reality than the RWD. And it is not expensive or difficult to modify it if you already have an AWD car. I don't really like the original Wltoys car's shell, so I modified the K969 into a CS car with the LD2801 car shell. And now I'm having a very good looking CS drift car. Do you think it is beautiful? Leave your comment and see you next time. Thank you for watching.